Hi everybody, my name is Charles. Welcome back to my little channel here. I don't generally like to give away all of my upcoming surprises for Halloween. I have a separate channel for that called The Haunted House of Oxford. Pretty small channel, not that mine's not, but that channel is for more of the behind the scenes stuff, and that's where people can see like all the goodies that I keep buying every year for this stuff. But sometimes you just can't help but put this out there for somebody to watch. So Home Depot recently launched all their Halloween pre-order stuff, and well, I got some in. So this one is the Plague Doctor, 7 feet tall, Plague Doctor-y looking thing. And given that my overall theme has kind of been, you know, man loses wife and goes on a search to try to find a way to bring her back from the dead, seemed kind of fitting to have a Plague Doctor to go along with the Mad Doctor. So today we're going to go ahead, we're going to unbox it, put it together, and see what it looks like actually running here in his, we'll call it native habitat. So we'll get this unboxed. We'll just kind of show you real quick. I'll take everything out, kind of show you the order in which they come out. So maybe you can play the video backwards if you need to figure out how to put it back in the box. We'll see. Anywho, let's get going. Now, I had also put together the animated Victorian vampire, or Nosferatu. Home Depot doesn't like to use it. It's probably a trademark thing. That box came in a shipping box just like this, a brown shipping box, but then with the regular box inside. This one, however, usually you can tell. If it's got the picture on the box, that's usually the final box you have to open. So just keep that in mind that when you are opening this one, there is not another box, or at least there shouldn't be another box inside the main box. However, in keeping with apparent tradition, Home Depot is putting the directions on the flaps of the box themselves. Hard to see from there, but you'll see it when I get there, or if you want, you can just go to Home Depot's website and just pull up the instructions yourself and take a look. But it's kind of neat that they do that. But if you do keep your boxes and you keep your props in those boxes for storage and you've accidentally lost your owner's manual and you don't feel like going to Home Depot's website to get another copy, well, they got you covered. So here we go. Let's take a look. First things first, we have what looks to be cardboard, but we actually have pieces underneath. So this is kind of like your cover. So we're going to put that over there. Under here we've got basically just looks like stuff is just kind of thrown in. So here's his head with his fancy leather hat here, which does have a metal brim inside that you can position. So that's pretty cool. Set the head over there. Over on this side we've just got looks like a left arm with a staff holder piece. Right arm is down here and a lantern. That's unfortunate. I think this has to go back down and hook on. So looks like my lantern kind of fell apart like so, but it doesn't look like it's been damaged too much, so that's cool. For the most part, it looks like all of the little pieces, head of the staff, boots, it looks like for the most part everything in this box has just been more or less thrown in, with the exception of the base. So here's your whole torso assembly all at once, and then you've got your bases kind of sit straight in the bottom. Well, that's easy enough. And then we just have the two staff packs. So to put it back together, you would basically just throw your base in like this, and then just put your big torso in there in the middle, and then just fill all the gaps with all the extra pieces. That's easy enough. All right, let's get this box out of the way, start building. Now, we are going to go ahead and use the paper instructions because it's pretty dark in here. It might not look it, but it is kind of dark. And I want to be able to see what we're doing. What do we got here? So we've got our instructions, we've got our power supply. Set that over there for the time being on the other pile of other goodies. This one, it's actually booklet form, so it doesn't fold out like a lot of the other ones. This one's actually a booklet. So I'm curious as to what that cord was. Oh, okay, so that cord is actually just part of the power adapter, just not all in one. Sweet. All right, so first things first, what do we do with the base? All right, so let's go get the base together. So the base goes on pretty easily. Looks like we need to then throw some boots on. I don't think, if memory serves, that these are directional. I don't believe they are. Now we need the pieces that come out of that top cover. So let's go ahead and get those out. These will actually just pop out if you want to get fancy, or you can just rip them out either way. We're going to go ahead and just pull that out. Shorter legs, the shorter ends go down here like so. They are different sizes. Which one goes on which side? I'm backwards. There we go. Now I like to leave the stickers on all my parts, except for the parts that are visible when it's fully completed. And that's just to make it easier when I'm putting it back together next year. So for example, D and E are pretty much the same length, but up here on the top, we've got the clips on the outside of them, but you might not notice that ahead of time. You might put them all together, and then, so for example, in this case, you get this together, you put the robe on, then you go to put the torso on, only to realize that that was in the wrong spot. So I like to leave the stickers on. Your mileage may vary. You may or may not like to do that. Yeah, robe. Where's the robe? Is this the robe? There's the robe. Kind of tangled up into here, but here we go. I kind of like that material. That is really cool. It's kind of like a pleather, right? Like it's kind of like, it's not leather, but it looks the part. That's pretty cool. I like that. I do not know. And it's got an actual like tie collar on it. Like that's pretty slick. I will say this is definitely a much higher quality feel than a lot of the other things are. So on the back of this, it's kind of hard to see, but they've actually got a very long, completely enclosed Velcro piece. So it's not just Velcro parts along the way. The whole thing is one big seam, and it's a really nice seam when it's complete. I actually didn't see it at first, and I'm trying to figure out how I was supposed to get this all together over this, and then turns out, well, that's how. This whole thing seams together. I'll show you when we're done, and it's really well put together as far as that goes. Onward! I should also mention that the pages on this are really thick pages. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to torso on here. Get that out of the way. That's an arm. Let's see, which way is the front? Must be this way. So that's going to go this way. Just like so. Perfect. All right, I'm going to back you up a little bit so we can get everything in frame as we keep going. All right, so now that we've got the torso on, we're going to go ahead and pull our costume back up and over all the way. All right, let's get this up here and let's get this seam started in the back. Okay, I'm going to leave the back a little bit open for the moment just so we can you know, reach our hand in there if we need to. Also, in hindsight, as cool as this was that you can untie these, you probably don't need to. This looks like a rope light. I think it is. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I didn't remember that in the video before I bought it, so that's pretty cool. We also need to put on his satchel, which goes around this way. Interestingly, keep off, do not climb or sit on the Plague Doctor. Now, right arm assembly, I think we need to get our lantern figured out here. There we go. I think by golly we got it. All right, we got our lantern back together there. I think this is supposed to actually stay relatively, you know, intact in shipping, but mine in that case wasn't. All right, so now we got to worry about the arms. Let's see. Now the instructions actually don't say anything about needing to reach inside to do this. However, I have a feeling you're going to need to keep the back open enough to be able to reach in and maneuver this into place, because doing this completely by feel, so we got to turn you upside down this way. So let's see, doing this completely by feel, turn this upside down this way. Here's our things. It can be done. Probably easier to do it from the back. There's our arm right like so. So let's go ahead and hook our wires together like so. And then we're going to try to fold this up around. Now on the arm, there's actually a little molded lip around this. And there's an elastic band on the sleeve that should go up and just snugly fit over like so. Now the left arm, a little bit different. This one's all put together already. So this one might be a little trickier to get into place with our sleeve. So let's see if we can go 2 for 2 when it comes to putting this and getting it hooked together without opening the back of the costume. So the left arm, I'm already having difficulties with. There we go. Couldn't get the sleeve on to start with. Let's see if we can't get this one up here. Let's see. So we're... Okay, arm is in. Cool. Same thing applies. We have our elastic band on our sleeve that we need to bring all the way down over the actual forearm. And then there's our arm. All right, so let's go ahead and get our staff together. M goes on the bottom and then N, so it's gonna go like so. Let's go this way, upside down. All right, so that's gonna go in there. Now that is tabbed and does have a quick twist lock. So you go in, twist it, and away you go. Same thing down here. Just like so. Arm is gonna go onto here. Like so. All right, so the top of the staff is keyed as far as the plug goes, and then just kind of goes down into there, and then the same rules apply. In, twist, there's our staff. Now all that's left to do is to put on the head, which should be relatively straightforward in that we've just got a 2-pronged approach. So let's go ahead and find the 2 prongs. Just like so. Holy crap, he's tall. Problem though, and this is what I said I was going to come back to, some of these arms, like this one, that arm had a plug on the end that we plugged in because of the hinge. This one has a plug up here in the shoulder, neither of which are plugged into the torso because, well, you can't reach the torso without opening the back. So even though I said that I didn't want to have to open the seam back up again, so for example, here's the one arm, here's all of the cables and all the other goodies. So we do need to actually reach in here and plug a lot of these together. So there's the red one over here, and the cable for that one is down here. All right, so there's that one. Now we have the head plugs up here that we need to plug in. That is very hard to see with all his darkness up here. Let's go ahead and get these together. So all that's left now is to get them powered up and see what it looks like in here. Interesting on this one, the power adapter is actually a 2-piece design, kind of how like some outdoor plugs might be. And one thing I've noticed, and I don't know for sure, I'll have to go back through and check it. Some of the stuff on here actually looks relatively, dare I say, weatherproofed. Not everything does, but for example, here is the end of the plug that goes into the prop. And you can see it's got a seal on it. And then on the control box inside, it's got a rubberized cover over the entire slide switch for power. So that's pretty slick. I don't know if he's intended to be an indoor and outdoor. Most other props are designed to be outdoor covered, but I don't know. He might actually be designed to be more of an outdoor prop. The regular motors just have plastic covering over them. You might be able to see it. I don't know if that is supposed to be for weather protection or if that's just to keep things from getting caught up in the mechanism. It also would explain the really cool pleather we've got going on with stuff. But again, I'm gonna put this seam back together so I can show you just how tidy this thing looks when it's actually all seamed up. I mean, look at that seam down the back side of this prop. That is a proper seam. And I should mention, on the satchel, there is actually a Velcro piece that actually will hold the strap in place. Let's get him turned around, get him powered up, and see what he looks like.
The pestilence is here. I can sense it. Bring me your stick. It is my duty to rid the world of it. Bring me your wounded. This lavender in my mask is barely covering your stench. Bring me the leeches. It is time to cure you of your ailments. It is too late. Another name in the death toll. What is your last wish? There is evil here. I will rid you of it. I have seen this form of illness in another autopsy. Be gone, evil! Nothing is working. Another soul lost. Goodbye.